All right, we're back for another battle report. I'm back with Jeff. He's going to be my opponent today. He's set up this nice table for us. We're going to be playing the Point Assault mission. So we got 5 objectives on the table in this cross pattern, and then we're going to be deployed in these arrowhead formations directly centered on that the central objective. So we haven't played that mission before, Jeff, so we're going to give it a try today. Any thoughts about the mission you want to share with us?
We're going to be right up in each other's face in the first round. So
yeah.
I mean, how we deploy, right? So, yeah, it should be interesting.
Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, so we're going to just take a break here, and we'll take you through our armies, and then we'll go to deployment. We'll see you in a minute. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you've noticed the captions by now, and unfortunately, I had some audio issues later in the video. I've increased the volume and added the captions, so you should still be able to understand me when my microphone cuts out. Sorry about the inconvenience, and I hope you still enjoy the battle report. This is Jeff's 1,500 points of Solar Auxilia. So you want to take us through it, Jeff?
This is the cohort, right?
The sub-cohort, yeah.
Sub-cohort.
Solar Auxilia.
It's got the three Las Rifle Tercios with the what do they call him?
The Legate Marshal.
Tactical commander. He's tactical.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then the 8 Sentinels, 2 sets of 8 Ogren, which are going to be in the Harvest Lighters.
Okay.
Then we move over to my tank company. The tank commander is a guy with the guy in the hatch. So 2 Stormhammers, and then 2 detachments of Lehman Russes with the Vanquisher cannons, last cannon in the hole. And then I have the artillery company. It's going to be a legate. He's going to have a small retinue of what do you call these guys again?
The Velatari.
I always forget. And then 3 sets of Basilisks. And that's my 1,500 on the point, on the dot.
All right. So it's a little bit of a modification from the list you ran in the last game, I think it looks like.
Yeah, I need more commanders on the table.
All right, we're going to go to mine here in a second. All right, this is my 1,500 points of combined Mechanicum and Solar Auxilia. It's about 50 points over the normal Allies allotment, but Jeff has been kind enough to allow me to break the rules a little bit just for the sake of the game. So I have 2 formations of Mechanicum. I have 1 formation of an Ordo Reductor subdivision. So I've got 8 Thanatar and 4 Myrmidon Destructors. And then I have a Cybernetica cohort with 2 detachments of Castellax, 2 detachments of 1 Arlatax, 2 detachments of 6 Thalax, 1 detachment of Ad Secularis Tech Thralls, and then over here in my Pioneer Company, I have an Avenger Strike Fighter, a Lightning Fighter, 9 Mole Mortars, a Las Rifle Tercio with 4 Flamers, 8 Las Rifles, and a Tactical Command, 4 Tarantulas with the missiles, anti-air missiles, and 8 Velatari. So I'm going to get set up and we'll show you our deployment. So this is our deployment. So I'll take you through what I did first. So again, the deployment zones are these kind of arrowheads centered on the main central objective. So starting on the left here, I set up my Thanatar first, kind of anchoring my group on the left, and then they're supported by the Castellax, the Arlatax, and then the Thalax in the rear for some tactical strength, and they're going to be pushing up the table to that objective there. We got a lot of terrain on the board today. So pretty minimal line of sight, which I think is going to favor me, just because my weapons are so short-ranged. In the back here, I have my Tech Thralls securing this rear objective along with 2 Thanatar with the Solex Heavy Las. So they're going to be maneuvering up, trying to get a good firing lane to make use of the range on their weapons. And then the same for my Myrmidon Destructors. Probably going to move into this building here and garrison it. I've got my Tarantulas kind of trying to lock down the airspace. And then in the center, I infiltrated my Velatari and my Las Rifle Tercio into this obstructing terrain around the objective. And then just beyond them are my mole mortars infiltrated into that ruined building, looking to lock down some of that central board area. And then on the right, I have my other group composed of the Thalax, the Thanatar, Castellax, Arlatax, and then of course the Tech-Thriest and the Archmagos, and they're going to be pushing up around this building through the obstructing terrain to try to get to that objective there. And then of course off table, I have my 2 fighters providing air cover and some ground assault. So that covers my deployment. Jeff, you want to take us through what you did?
Yeah, just trying to build a kind of a stronger center, trying to keep my command structure to keep all my artillery so I give them first fire. And just got some small unit over here back up, trying to get to the objective later. And then I got the Ogrins back here. Give me some flexibility as to where I can put them. They're off the table in reserve. Can they deploy in first turn on reserve?
Aircraft can, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I believe, yeah.
So they can come in, drop down into hover, and jump on an objective or get in a building. So
great.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. You got your vanquishers, and then your artillery are all behind that building there?
Yep, 3 sets of artillery.
Oh, okay. All right. Great. Okay, well, we are going to go through orders and our first turn, and we'll check in with you after movement. All right. This is the end of movement, turn 1. I'll take you through what I did. Starting over here on the right, I moved my Thalax up into this building, putting some overwatch on this kind of courtyard area, this open space in front of the objective. And then I marched my Castellax and my Thanatar up into this obstructing terrain alongside the Solar Auxilia. In the center here, I had my Thanatars move up using the Solex Heavy Last to kind of lock down that central movement corridor. And my Myrmidons are in this building, sort of doing the same thing. Got their conversion beamers locked in on that objective. And then my Tech Thralls moved into garrison this structure so they can put their tactical strength to controlling the home objective. Over here on the left, I moved my Thanatar, my Castellax, Arlatax, and Thalax all up, heading towards this objective. And then I think that about covers it for me. All the rest of my stuff kind of just shuffled around here up in the center. My stuff on first fire is stationary, of course. And then I brought my Avenger Strike Fighter here over on the left. Try to put some fire on Jeff's Argons, which I will let him tell you about. But I think that about covers it for me. Jeff, what did you do this turn?
Yeah, I did a little bit of a shuffle because I made a few mistakes on deployment. I kind of switched a couple of units around. My Legates in the center and my other commanders over here. I did roll on to this flank with my 4 Arbus Lighters, dismounted my Ogrins, and then you shot the crap out of them with those the battery over there. What they call it again? The Tarantula battery. Managed to kill 3 of the transports. And I made lucky saves. I made decent saves. I lost 1 Ogrin, so it wasn't real bad. And then I rolled my other Ogrins up on your other flank, and kind of pushed my Ogrins back a little bit to try to stay away from those getting assaulted by the Velatari. Shifted over here with my Stormhammers, and pretty much it. Shift a little bit over here, put some units over in the building over here to try to get towards that objective. But looks like you got pretty good control of at least 3 objectives, and I got 1. So we'll see how it goes. So the shooting phase. Once the shooting phase happens, maybe that'll change.
All right,
that's it. So
we'll do combat, and we'll check in with you after that. All right, this is the end of combat. Turn 1. So this is the situation. I guess I'll start over here. I brought my Avenger Strike Fighter on. Tried to take out some of the Ogrins. I think I managed to do nothing. Might have done 1 casualty. But Jeff's in a pretty good position to contest that objective. bringing the rest of my my combat group up to attack the objective. So we'll see how that goes. In the rear here, still got my Thanatar, my Myrmidons positioned to secure the back objective, and then my Velatari here are securing that central objective. More infantry on the right. I just marched them up, so I didn't really have much chance to exchange much fire. My mole mortars fired on Jeff's super heavy tanks, did a wound, but then they took quite a few casualties themselves. And then my lightning came in and did a wound, or took one Leman Russ out. And that about covers it. Pretty movement-heavy turn, not too much combat. And then, what did you fire at, Jeff? I think you fired at my infantry, right, with your sentinels?
Well, my artillery worked on the.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the other one artillery battery worked on. Was it them? Yeah.
Yeah, you did a wound to the Castellax, and then your Leman Russ took out 2 of my Thanatars.
Yep.
And then your sentinels did quite a few casualties to my infantry
did a
there.
few over here. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, not a super combat heavy turn. The score is 14-6 right now. I control the 3 objectives you see marked in yellow, and then Jeff's got the 2 marked in green. So we're going to go ahead and clean up after this turn, and we'll check in with you after movement turn 2. All right, this is the end of movement turn 2. So we'll start over here on the left. Pretty fierce charge from the Ogrins. They were in the craters over here, charged up into the face of my Mechanicum battle group here. So we'll see how that fight goes. I was able to maneuver my Thalax with their jump packs over the fight and get onto the objective. Not sure if that was the right move. In the rear here, I think I definitely made a misplay because I moved my Myrmidons, which are supposed to be protecting this objective, up into that difficult terrain there in those craters, and that let Jeff maneuver his Arvis Lighters into the rear here to try to contest this rear objective. In the center, moved my Thanatar up to get a line of sight on the Stormhammers. Velatari stayed where they were, and in here I brought my infantry back into the shelter of the craters, moved my Thanatar up, put some more fire on those Stormhammers, and then over here we had a bit of excitement with the Ogrins charging out of their building into the mole mortars, which I was not expecting. I did an overwatch shot with the Thalax, which was pretty effective. I did 4 casualties. Jeff did fail his morale check, so they're going to be falling back.
It's just doing that right.
It does mean they won't get their charge bonus, Jeff, because they lose their order when they fail their morale check.
They still get to fight, though.
They still get to fight. They just won't get their charge bonus. And then I move my Castellax up to kind of try to shield the objective, but Jeff circumvented me there. Yeah, I brought my Avenger Strike Fighter in on the right here, trying to get into the rear arc of these Leman Russ. Jeff still got some infantry in that building there. What else, Jeff? Anything from your perspective that I missed?
Well, I did a little switch. These guys were in this building, went to this building. Actually, first, the guys who were in this building jumped into the Arvis Liner, and it flipped back over here. And then these guys went to that building. Mostly just shuffle stuff forward. Oh, you did manage to, Brent mentioned you did shoot down one of my Arvis Liners with your
Yes, yes, thank you.
And then I got my charge off over here. We'll see how that goes. I think you managed to kill, maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, it's pretty much was it. Just to shuffle these guys a little bit, shuffle these guys a little bit. And that was my move.
All right. So we're going to do combat, and we'll check in with you after that. All right, this is the end of combat. Turn 2. So start over here on the left. I brought my Avenger Strike Fighter in. Was able to do a couple of casualties to Jeff's Leman Russ. Had a sharp fight here between the rapier battery and Jeff's Augeron, who charged out. So you can see the combined fight wiped out the rapiers. I did a couple casualties with the Arl attacks, and then Jeff's Augerons fell back. Let's see what else. My Solex Heavy Labs were able to take out one of Jeff's Stormhammers there, firing down that line of, that movement corridor. Let's see. The fight over here, I lost pretty much all of my. I lost my Arl attacks, one of my Castellax, and the remaining Thanatar. And I was able to do a few casualties with my Myrmidon Destructors firing in the aftermath of that combat. Over here, my Thalax took a couple of casualties, but we're able to put some tactical strength on this objective, which actually doesn't matter in this mission. Even if a neutral objective is uncontested, you still score victory points. So I think it probably would have been wiser to just bring them back to secure my home objective and not worry about trying to take that one. What about you, Jeff? What happened for you this turn?
Well, I lost my Ogrons over here because they ran off the table. Well, they would have ran off the table next turn. Managed to get this over here, kill a group over here in close combat. Actually did pretty well. I killed the rapiers in close combat before they ran off the table. Yeah, pretty much all I got going on.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we will go ahead and finish our movement of turn 3, and we'll check in with you after that. All right, so this is the end of movement turn 3. So we'll start on the left here. Jeff moved his Argus over here, try to take the objective. I pulled off a charge with the Castellax. We really need to film the Overwatch shots because you had
you killed
Ogrons
4 Ogrons. You killed 4.
And they pulled off some clutch Overwatch shots with their lightning guns. So I was able to charge the Arvis. I brought my Avenger in to try to get some rear shots on the Lumen Russ. Charged with my Myrmidons against the Sentinels, who moved up into this obstructing cover. Jeff did a pretty good Overwatch shot. I lost 3 of the 4. They passed their morale check, fortunately. And then I made a counter charge with my Bellatori, who have been hiding out here in the obstructing cover for most of the game. Jeff brought his Arvis Lighter from all the way over there on the back side of the table down to drop off some infantry on this objective to keep it contested. I moved my Thanatar Calyx, I think, with the Solex Heavy Las to shoot at the Leman Russ. Leviathan. The Thanatar moved up into the ruins. Infantry over here moved up into the edge of the obstructing terrain to get on the objective. Thalax stayed put. Castellax just shifted a little bit, and then my Arl attacks managed to survive some Overwatch fire from the Stormhammer and make its charge all the way up there. And then my Lightning is brought in here on the right flank to try to put some shots in Jeff's armor. Anything I missed, Jeff?
You cover this?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was where most of the activity took place.
Yeah, I think that was fairly decisive.
I did kill a few of these lightning guys.
The Myrmidons.
Myrmidons. I killed a few of those guys.
Yeah.
With Overwatch. That's right. You mentioned that. And then I actually killed a couple of guys shooting with these guys in Overwatch as well. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm gonna like in a full tactical withdrawal, and he managed to get this guy all the way across. So this will probably wind up being the last turn, just for points. It's going to be hard, too hard to catch up. So,
well, we'll see how this turn goes. We'll see, and we still got secondaries to account for.
Yeah.
So we'll do combat, guys, and we'll check in with you after that. All right, this is the end of turn 3 combat. You can see. Fairly eventful turn. Starting over here on the right, my las rifles kind of moved up. Didn't really take much fire. Thalax stayed here. Didn't have much opportunity to shoot. Jeff was able to take out my Thanatar here that moved up into the ruins. The combat between the Arlatax and the Stormhammer ended in a victory for the Arlatax. In the center, my Solex Heavy Las, I think, took out a single Leman Russ, and the rest of them were knocked out by the Avenger Strike Fighter coming in. The center here, the combat between the Bellatori, the Myrmidons, and the Ethon Heavy Sentinels in the background went my way, and they withdrew back there. You kind of see them in the distance. And then the combat between the Arvis Heavy Lighter and the Magus Prime ended in a victory for the Arvis, but then the Castellax was able to take it out. My Overwatch shot here from the Tech Thralls did nothing to the infantry that disembarked from this Arvis. And I think that about covers it. Right, Jeff? I'm not sure if there's...
I don't have anything to add, so...
Yeah. Okay.
I want my Marines back. Or Astartes, actually.
So the final score was 52-24. I ended up controlling the basically the 3 neutral objectives and my deployment zone objective. I was able to secure my secondary objective, but only the second tier because Jeff was able to get some infantry in into my deployment zone, and the secondary objective that I had requires me to keep the enemy forces completely out of my deployment zone. Meanwhile, Jeff was able to control 2 of the table quarters on his side of the board, which netted him 10 victory points for his secondary objective. So I think that about covers it. So thanks again for the game, Jeff. Really appreciate it. That was fun. It's neat playing against Solar Auxilia because I usually play them so much. So it's kind of
Mechanicum's neat.
Nice to see something different.
You had a good combo too. It's good.
Yeah, I think they really need something to help them out because they just don't have any kind of infiltrator. They have a few forward deploy units, but the Solar Auxilia give them that anti-air and aircraft capability that they really need.
Good combinations.
So, but yeah. So what did you think about it, Jeff? The mission facing the Mechanicum.
This was different. Deployment was really weird, but yeah, I mean, my speed helped me a little bit. It kept me from getting creamed. Yeah.
What was your decisive point in the battle, you thought?
My decisive point?
Well, just a decisive point in the game that you think kind of turned the tide, one way or the other.
I don't know. I saw early on that it was yours to control because you got up on your infiltrators obviously helped you. Mm-hmm. You got up on the 2 neutral objectives a lot faster than me. Well, 3. I kind of played back, so I was hoping the Ogrins would do a little better, and they didn't do too bad, but they just charged into too much, and your Overwatches were way too powerful. So
yeah, the Thalax rolled well, and they're just a really good unit with those 2
they
guns, and the fact that they have that light AT -1.
It's really, a lot of firepower coming out of it. It's probably comparable to like charging Terminators. Well, Terminators may be a little better because they got the accurate roll, but
yeah, they've got more volume. But the fact that with the Thalax, those shots are, they're knocking out because they've got that -1 and their light AT. You don't get a save.
Right.
Which is, it's only a 6-up, I guess, so it's not that big of a deal, but yeah.
Survivability in Mechanicum is great. That extra 5-up. Sometimes the 5-up's better than their regular save, right?
Yeah, sometimes I do roll better on those.
There's a 6, depending on AP, I guess.
Yeah.
But I really don't. I don't know. I think I don't know what the high point of the game was. Where the things started really turning on me. I kind of I played too far back, I think.
It's easy to do with Solar Auxilia, I think.
Yeah. I was counting on the Ogrins to do more.
Yeah. But, well, I guess we'll call it there, guys. We hope you enjoyed the battle report, and make sure you like and subscribe and all that stuff, and I guess we'll see you in the next video.